You need to research about your profession. In my HR space, I know if someone is going to say, I'm looking for you to become our HR manager, then I know how much I'm worth. So I'm going to give you 30,000. No, just keep it for someone else. I don't want that. So I'm not going to compromise who I am for that amount. It's the day I believed in my story. That's the day everything changed. If you're going to finance, be deep in finance. To a point where if people can Google now, finance people in Botswana, you must pop up in the top 10. If you don't see yourself in the top 10, you haven't done anything. I met this guy that said, you are a good guy in Botswana to talk to, I'm just new here, in HR space. I met for coffee that guy. 3 weeks down the line, he gave me an offer that is double what I was earning at RSM. And he wanted me to start immediately. Interviews is not entirely about you guys. The companies are looking for someone for their company. So you must show them how you fit in their company. So it should be about them more than you.
So ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming to the show today, Mr. Sebina.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Deep Dive Sessions. My name is Mpho and Mr. Thank you for stopping by. Our goal with the show is to bring you and I in proximity to the people and ideas that will show us that it is possible and it can be done and eventually help us achieve on our dreams and on our goals. Today, like always, we have a special guest in the building. You read the title, you saw the thumbnail, you know what time it is. We have the top 100 HR leader Botswana. We have a motivational speaker in the building. We have an author of 5 books with a 6th book on the way. We have a corporate strategist. We have a man of many hats. So ladies and gentlemen, help me in welcoming to the show today, Mr. Sebina.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know if many people know this, but we met, was it 2017?
2017.
2017.
Yeah.
And you were a speaker at TEDx Botswana.
Yeah.
And, I was just one of the facilitators volunteering.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I volunteered for that. And that's where we met. And you gave an electrifying speech as always. So, first of all, before we even delve into anything, were you always this good in terms of speaking?
No. First of all, let me say thank you so much for inviting me here and everyone who is listening, who is here with us this evening. It's such a pleasure, and an honor to be invited to speak and empower young people, something that I'm passionate about. I've not really started out as a speaker, or knowing how to speak, but I always loved seeing people's lives becoming better. And every single day, I come across situations, circumstances, and I just want to talk to the world. But first of all, I need to know how to do that, right? Yeah. So I had to learn how to speak, how to empower people, how to master the stage, the craft, so that when I stand in front of people, I just deliver exactly what they're looking for and, steal their heart out of that. So it wasn't always like that. Actually, I was one of the quiet person in school, quite shy, never really speak much, never approach people for the first time, the people you call introvert. But I found myself enjoying my time speaking to people. And I did not just only speak here, I spoke on global platforms to people that I don't even know, hundreds of people. And I found myself doing quite well in that area.
I think it's linked with writing, eh? There's the linkage there between speaking and writing somehow that allows you to be able to be a great speaker and also translate what you're saying to words and just write it down.
Yeah. It does go hand in hand. Because as much as I speak, I want to empower as many people as possible, right? But I cannot be at every place at the same time.
Yeah.
So there are people I want to reach out to in places that I cannot reach. So the best way for me to do it is to go on radio, is to write books that will be able to reach them from every corner of the world. That's why I say what I speak about, I write about it so that I can empower the people, large audience. So it becomes easier for me, especially something that I'm passionate about. I don't write something I'm not passionate about. Just because I know it, I feel like it will make money. No, it's not about that. It's about empowering someone.
Lovely. It's about empowering someone. And you're going to empower us today with some amazing career tips.
I believe so.
Let's start here. So for somebody that's starting out in career, you know, I was given an example here saying finishing varsity, you're thrown into this world of where you now have to start sending CVs.
Yeah.
You have to go door knocking. You basically have to beg for a job sometime.
Yeah.
You know, if you really don't have that connection and network like that, and you struggle, you know, and you struggle. So for somebody that's starting out right now, in terms of career, finding a job or actually finding the job of their heart, how would you advise somebody to go about? Somebody who's starting out, brand spanking new from varsity.
All right. Let me take you a little bit back about my life. That is a career lesson on its own.
Yes.
If you Google my name, you'll check that on. Also, The Voice wrote something about my career elevation. You know, you check it on Google, the article is still there on The Voice. I didn't start out well in my academics. I didn't go to university like you guys have gone to university here in Botswana and you'll be all that, right? I didn't have the opportunity to be in that kind of environment where I study, I complete my degree, I do my internship. No, I didn't. I dropped out of BAC. I was studying computer systems engineering. I dropped out.
Yeah, I know why you dropped out. Hey, that thing is hard.
You know, I dropped out because, you know, being me, I was always passionate about something, right?
Yeah.
So along the way, something happened. You know, sometimes lecturers can mark you down on something. I don't know for whatever reason. And the worst part is they marked me down on the subject that was the best on it. From my primary to my high school, I was the best in mathematics. And then computer mathematics, all of a sudden, someone is saying, you failed it. And you know it'd be easy. When you fail something, you have to pay from your pocket for you to redo it. And I didn't have the money. So you can't proceed to the third year if you have an outstanding module, right? So the best way to say, to avoid the shame of saying, no, this guy is getting an FD. Before I get to that year 3, I quit myself. So I had no choice. Then that means no degree, nothing at that level. And, you know, when you have no one, I'm an orphan, you don't know whom to talk to. But then one of the first things that I did is I had to invest in myself, all right? I have to start reading books, which is something that you could also take up to say, first thing you do, read.
Read books.
Read something that you're passionate about that can improve your life. I was reading almost everything. I remember the first year, I read about 100 books in the first year, trying to understand where my life is going, the direction. All right, then I started doing some volunteering work in some organizations, motivational speaking. Now, you got to be a motivational speaker because obviously life is not good on your side, right? So you got to tell someone that you can do it. You can do this. Yeah. So I started speaking and people didn't know me. I was just this little boy in Francistown who was trying to be a motivational speaker. So people didn't understand what I'm trying to really do. I would stand there, I would start murmuring, I would start have speech stuttering. Speech stuttering is when you have a disability of hearing and you can't really put words together because you can't even hear yourself, right? So I was at that level because I lost my hearing. So I have to speak. Then I say, oh, but if I can go to school, then maybe life will get better, right? So I started enrolling for law at GUC. So with my small money that I was making, I'll pay towards my law diploma. Sooner, I couldn't pay it. So they told me that you can't write exams because you're owing, right? So I stopped again. I did not complete. Then, okay, life is life. Nothing that I can do. People have the privilege. Then I come across some online programs. Then I started doing free online programs. I try to free. On Allison, whatever platform I came in contact with, I'll just enroll and do the programs. All right, I have about more than 16 diplomas, online diplomas alone.
16?
16. Because almost every year, I'll be doing 2-3 diplomas online. Just doing because, and we're all in line with what I'm passionate about, and which is people. All right. it was easier for me to say people because I could tell how my life is, and I want my life to be better, and I want to help other people's life to be better. So it was always around HR, human resource, psychology, all those kind of programs. Then my speaking career started changing also. People started recognizing me, inviting me. Then I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting recognized. That's nice. So I started attending programs, being sponsored for those programs. And my first talk, I gave a presentation at the World Bank headquarters, the Youth Summit. And I was like, wow, I'm here. It's an opportunity for me, right? From there, I never stopped. I went out to speak with all my heart. In TEDx programs, every other program, companies are getting recognized, radios calling me. And while I'm doing that, I never stopped learning. And while I'm still learning, I never stopped networking, which is the key area in one of the things, right? Network, get to meet with people. So I met with a lot of people. And before you know it, I was sitting in tables or in dinners with people that I did not know. They're my employers. The second book I wrote, the guy I met, he just said, no, I'm writing a book. I want you to help me put it together. I don't have money to give you, but the guy is a millionaire. I can tell you, I know. The guy's a millionaire, but he just wanted to maybe see the attitude, right? This guy will come to me and say, no, I want the money. I said, no, bring the book, I'll work on it. I worked on the book. 3 months down the line, he said, I think I need someone to assist me in my company. I said, oh, your company? What the company? RSM. You guys know RSM Botswana, right?
Yeah, we've had
it's an auditing and accounting firm.
We've had Mr. Guru actually on the podcast.
Yeah, Guru Moti.
Yeah, Guru Moti.
And I was like, oh, okay. We have a post. Can you come and assist us? It was an officer post. So I got there to assist. 2 months down the line, the HR manager resigned. Or the next on that post.
Nice.
And that's how my career immediately took off. And that time I was around 28, 29, becoming one of the youngest HR directors in Botswana. You understand?
So that was quite a mouthful, eh?
Yeah. And immediately, you don't stop, right? Immediately, I'm in that position. I know, first of all, somehow I don't deserve it academically, right? So immediately, I enrolled into a program, now a full legit program that I can pay for, which is the master's program in human resource, business management, specializing in human resource, so that I can at least come into the levels with the position to say, no, I can now qualify. No one can question me, right? And no one can question my boss and say, you hired someone who does not qualify. No, I qualify. So I enrolled, I did a course, and I started writing articles about HR, because as you study, you discover things, right? I started writing articles, getting more interested, and people also getting interested, like, how did this guy become here? All right. So I started writing a book on HR brilliance, because it was discoveries I made through my studies. HR brilliance was coming around, and before you know it, I networked with one guy. He came to Botswana for the first time. When he got here, he asked someone and said, whom can I talk to, whom you know in Botswana, right? That is the best in HR. And that guy said, one person I know is Koziba. All of a sudden, the guy sent me a WhatsApp and said, no, I met this guy. They said you are a good guy in Botswana to talk to. I'm just new here, HR, in HR space, and let me for coffee. I met for coffee that guy. 3 weeks down the line, he gave me an offer that is double what I was earning at RSM. And he wanted me to start immediately.
Nice.
And I moved immediately.
Nice. Nice. Mr. Sebina.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to your story. Very powerful. This is where you are currently.
Yeah.
The gentleman.
Yeah.
Would you care to tell us your age so that we determine from where you started that period? Because you said you were 29 when you started at RSM. And
yeah.
That means you're in your 30s now. That's fine. So there's a lot to get from your story.
Yeah.
You talked about learning, continuously learning. But I think the underpinning point here is you knew what you wanted in terms of career.
Yeah.
I think that's all we can agree on. You knew what you wanted and that's what you pursued. So I think there is definitely has to be something to be said in terms of knowing exactly what you want from the beginning.
Yeah.
And going after it.
Yeah.
And what was that time interval between when you started, this entire learning, self-learning, till when you landed your first legit job at RSM? How many years was that in between?
Between then and I started that around 2011. From 2011 till 2018.
7 years.
Yeah, the 7 years of just learning and doing things.
Hey, okay, that's pretty interesting. And so you fell into this job after all of these learnings.
Yeah.
So let us digress and maybe go a little bit backwards, because I'm anticipating somebody asking, how do I then find what I'm very interested in? Like my career. How do I ascertain that this is something I want to go and run with 20, 30, 40 years? How were you able to ascertain that for yourself?
All right. We all have dreams, right? We all things have things that we are passionate about. That thing that you can wake up in the morning and just want to do even if you don't get paid for. Isn't it? There are certain things like that you just enjoy doing. Let me take you back to your school days when you're in school. Which lesson will you say was the lesson that you kind of enjoyed it? Even if you did not study it, you pass it. You had that lesson, right? You can take a lot from that to say, then what else can I do that really satisfies me? We had lessons. I had mathematics. I had moral education. I love writing, English. I used to write letters a lot. You understand? I used to write letters. I loved big English. So that had to do with speaking. Understand? You need to know. So what exactly do you think you can do easily without struggle? Then do you see yourself doing it? The vision is very important. Then if you dream it, you write about it, that this is what I want, then you need to see it. And you need to see yourself doing it. Then you don't wait for it to happen for you. You make it happen. Understand? You become, very strong coming in terms of approaching exactly what you want. Nothing should stop you. Nothing should stop you. And everything that comes, to a point that even relationships couldn't stop me. You could tell me you like me if I have to do something, tomorrow you are gone. Because I think you are the enemy of progress, right? So nothing should really block you. But the most important thing that really made me where I am is having a vision board. Okay? I was waking up every single morning, seeing myself on the stage, empowering people and in the boardrooms. So I took pictures of that and I put it in a very area where it's so visible in my room. So every time I wake up, the first thing that registers in my mind is me speaking to thousands of people. Then what you think about and you feed your mind, it's really come to pass. It's the law. It will come to pass. Nothing can stop that from happening. It will come to pass.
Lovely. And so now you are in this space. You've broken into the career. You are now, an HR professional now.
Yeah.
I mean, undoubtedly. Say now tomorrow you're like, hey man, I think this career is not for me anymore. I think I've done my reps in this career. How would you go about moving from where you are today, moving into a new career? Maybe you have found a new love, a new passion. Maybe you want to go into mining. And you want to say, you know what, I have zero qualifications in mining, but every day, even my content, whatever I look at, even on social media, it's mining stuff. This is stuff that I want to do. How then do you make that career switch and that jump? What is your what is your thought process, like your framework in terms of now you want to jump from this career into another one? What would you do?
Yeah. First of all, the first thing is information. All right? It's information. You must have information or knowledge about what you're about to enter into. All right? You can't just say, mining, Hatabai Ramad. Then all of a sudden you just want to rush into there. everyone can be making money, but does not mean you can make money because you don't have the right set of information to help you survive that environment, right? So first thing what I'll do myself is get knowledge, understanding. You understand? Even scriptures, they will tell you, the Bible will tell you in scripture that in all thy getting, get wisdom, all right? Get knowledge, get understanding. And these things will help you and position you better to know, am I capable of going into this thing? Then if I'm capable, I'll go for it. So as you go for it, please be deep. That's one thing. Be deep with everything that you are doing.
What does it mean to be
a
deep?
Shallow person. You understand? Don't be just shallow. If you're going to finance, be deep in finance. To a point where if people can Google now, finance people in Botswana, you must pop up in the top 10. If you don't see yourself in the top 10, you haven't done anything. If you Google, not even social media, if you Google your name and say the top 10 finance people in Botswana, if your name is not there, then you are still far. So you have to be deep to that level where you are Googleable and in the top search engine.
Menagi batala Spanish hello. God la ikinza ko morago. Kra gore di mo di that. But I like what you said. Being excelling in your space.
Yeah.
So the first thing is you study it.
You study knowledge.
You study the space knowledge. And then the next thing is you
can after you get knowledge, right, before you even go for it, get to meet people who are doing exactly what you want to do.
Right.
Don't compete with them. Go to them to understand the industry they are in. Network with them. Learn from them. Then something can change for you there.
Networking. How do people network effectively? Because this is something that I've also talked about. I think I wrote on my social media just about networking. How, if somebody would see you in a room right now, how would a good approach be to you? I don't know if that my question makes sense.
Yeah.
If someone wants to see, like, I want to meet Mr. Sebina. And then they see, oh, you're coming to deep dive. How would be the approach? How then do I get to see you? Do I say, Mr. Sebina, I like tall men. How do they get to approach you? Like, what is a nice way that you would accommodate and give someone time?
Because we never have time, all right? We don't have time. I don't have time. So there's something called an elevator pitch. You must know yourself to introduce yourself to someone or to me in 3 minutes. You must be able to introduce yourself to me in 3 minutes, and then we are done. After 3 minutes, I can either ask you to send me an email, give you my contact, so that we elaborate on what we just spoken about. If you want to take the networking time to explain everything that you are doing, that will take 30 minutes of time that I don't even have, right? So learn the 3 minute pitch. This is who I am. This is what I do. And what are you interested in? And why do you want me to be there? To listen to you.
This is who I am. This is what I do. What are you interested in? Why do I want you?
Yeah. This should not be entirely about you. Okay? Because I feel like, if you're going to make it entirely about you, I'll give you a fee that my meeting you for an hour is 10,000. Will you manage that? You understand? If I say, no, I'm in the consulting business. So if you're going to meet from here, I charge per hour. And the first consultation meeting, I charge 1,500 just to hear you before I say anything. And that is the standard prices. So you don't make it about you. Be interested in also what I'm doing. Align yourself with it. That's why you don't just network with anyone. I can't just go network with someone who is in mining. Understand? This is the manager of a mine. What do I want from the manager of a mine? I'll just say, hello, say, how are you doing? Oh, thank you, good presentation. I will get some wine. You understand? Because it's not my area. Those who I'm interested in, I'll go directly to the person. And then I'll share my interest views on what they were talking about so that they can share with me. Then it's like, interesting views. Why can't we have coffee so that I can hear more about those views? That's the approach.
Okay. So you have to develop the interest of the person you want to meet.
Yeah.
So that they actually give you time.
Yeah.
Lovely. And then in careers, how then do I say I want to move to the next? Hey, you're an HR professional. If I want to get a raise, how do I negotiate a raise at work?
A rate,
A raise.
as in salary?
Salary increment.
How do you
what's a good way of negotiating a salary increment?
The salary increment, there's no standard way, to say this is how I'm going to negotiate my salary increment, because different organizations do things differently, right? So others can give you a range. They can throw a range to you and say, this is the range that I'm working on. So we'll give you anything between that range and to help you to negotiate, to say, no, based on my worth. First of all, you must know how much you are worth, guys. Know how much you are worth.
How do we determine that?
Yeah.
How much you're worth? How does one determine how much
you determine your profession. You got to know your profession, what you are making. You need to research about your profession. In my HR space, I know if someone is going to say, I'm looking for you to become our HR manager, then I know how much I'm worth. So I'm going to give you 30,000. Just keep it for someone else. I don't want that. I get it. Just keep it some, because I know how I'm worth. So I'm not going to compromise who I am for that amount. It's either you give me 50K going up, or you don't give me anything at all. You understand? From that area. But you need to be smart how you approach a thing. Share with them that according to the standard market, I found out that my profession is worth this much. All right. And among here, we have someone who's also an HR professional who's been in the industry for a while.
Nice.
I think when we are asking during the Q&A, he will chop in and you'll be able to give us better answer to that. But guys, know exactly what you're worth. Share with them your background of your profession to say, according to the standard of the market, how is the market doing? Then they have a better understanding of how the market is doing for you. If you don't know, they'll give you anything. Because the company wants to save money, isn't it?
So, Mr. Sebina, we have had quite a lengthy discussion over the break just about a few aspects of toxic work environment and just how to really know your value as somebody that is working in an organization. Let's now maybe pivot a bit to, you're an HR professional, so you see a lot of applications. So kindly just walk us through some of the tips. If I'm writing an application for my dream job, this is a job I want, what should I look out for? What are some of the things I can do to prepare to write something that, when my employer looks, it stands out? Everybody wants to stand out. So what are some of those tips that you have for us? And even, what are some of the things that we should avoid? By all means, avoid these things when you're trying to land you a particular job that you want.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. As an HR professional, guys, we see a lot of things, right? We see resumes. Some of them, they are written with the pen, like up to this level. But I'll give you some tips. Every application you make, do not allow it or don't make it generic. All right? These days, gone are the days where you used to have one CV that you send to every company, every job. Gone are the days, you understand? Now we have specific job resume. That's why there's something called ATS system. That most of you, when you apply, you apply through a system. I get your application, or you do some kind of a survey and assessment, and then you click submit. All right. That things, some of them to avoid in your resume. I'll start with the resume, okay? Don't have your resume designing with all the colors, like too many colors. Okay? Stop that design. Stop putting pictures on resumes. I know some of you are professionals, they have a habit of putting one little photo in a corner somewhere there.
I've done that. Probably that's why I didn't get the job.
The HS system cannot read that. You understand? It cannot read that. Then, what you can do is, in that your resume, look at the job requirements for the application that you want to make, all right? Then you can tailor make it to feature into that. When it comes to your job responsibilities, a lot of people, they just write their job description, what they are given to do, you understand? And you'll be writing all those things. You'll be using words like managing the accounts, helping doing that. You understand? All the job responsibilities you put there. But the HR system does not pick that. You understand? It's action-oriented language. It does not pick that. It picks achievements, and they need to be quantified. If you are in sales, understand, if you are doing sales, how many clients did you see? Up to what amount of money did you close? I get it. How much percentage of revenue did you make for the company? Let there be, quantifiable measurements in your resume. Don't just write, I was doing sales for people, doing reports, monthly reports. I get it. Assisting in payroll. How many people were you doing payroll for? And what was your contribution in that area, in payroll management? What was your contribution? Did you reduce the payroll cost? To what amount? And what did you do to reduce the payroll cost? Isn't it? Did you increase the company profit somehow? Yes, you did. How much percentage did you increase? So quantify your achievement. Don't just write your job responsibilities. Then let's go down to your education. Obviously, that one is fine because you know what to put there. And then your dates and all that, let them be formatted. Let's go to hobbies. People put this one. I came across a resume, and one of the hobbies was making love.
What a legend.
I'll share with you the resume. I think I still have a copy. I took a photo of that part of hobbies. So I didn't know whether this guy was English problem or what. Maybe he had a different understanding of the whole sentence.
Hey.
I didn't understand. Maybe it's bullet point that separated a sentence altogether.
No way.
So I didn't understand, but it was just making love. And what kind of hobbies do you put there? How would they assist the organization that you are going to work at? Right? Because I look at, these are hobbies that the person is doing. How can this person contribute to our organizational goals? If it's making love, then the contribution is...
It's not going to work.
I have to... I'll be dealing with cases of sexual harassment every day.
Yeah.
So what do you put there that can sell you out? It's gonna... resume is like you're selling yourself. So if you don't sell exactly who you are, then we cannot assume. So you must be able to articulate very well, clearly, who you are in the resume.
So you can't lie.
Yeah?
You can't lie.
You can't lie. Don't lie, guys. Huh? Lie will catch you up. Don't lie in your resume at all. Like, if you didn't do something, don't say you did it. Because JD, what you call job description, right, is done looking at exactly what you said you know. So once you get the offer, they give you the JD, and it's going to force you to do that thing you said you didn't, you know, and you know you didn't do it. you don't even have qualification for it. You understand? So don't lie in your resume at all. Number 3, get someone check errors, especially English. Give someone your resume to review it, okay? Give someone who have access to an ATS system. Let them put it down for you to check how many points you earn. Because if you are below 40 points, trust me, you'll never make it anywhere in the application industry, in the job industry. And you don't know if you are 40 points or not now because you never tested it in the system. That should be tested so that you can check for yourself. And you know. Not of some people, there's a lady who said, I've been applying for about 4 or 5 years in these systems and not even one interview. And I said, your resume, hella system. HR manager. The system rejected before it get there because it doesn't meet the requirement, isn't it? The system, we upload the job description. right? You upload job description in the system. I get how on your CV, it checks the keywords that are in the job description if they are there in your CV. If they are not there, the keywords, then you can't go further. Then it goes to the responsibilities, requirements, and then it goes to your achievement. Yes, what you have achieved in aligned with this. So it link with keywords. And if they are not there, you are marked out immediately. All right. Sending an application through an email, the companies will tell you, please send application. If they said send CV, send a CV. There are people who say send CV, they send everything. If we are interested, we'll call you and say, please send your qualification result and your thing. I get it. Please send this. We'll request for those things. So if we say send a CV, and I will feel already no, I want to show them, or I'm serious. We are seeing that you don't know how to follow instruction.
Yeah.
Already hell before we hire you, this one doesn't follow instruction. We said CV and not send that. So be careful with that, okay? But the application letter is just you to set yourself to say just a narration of your qualification and all that. I get. But make job-specific resume. Edit it for every application that you are making.
Thank you very much. And now say, it's an steaming if you're corner, you go HR. And HR says, Mpho, come for an interview on Wednesday. Talk to me about somebody preparing for an interview. How do I put my best foot forward? What are some of those great tips that that you can tell us in terms of interview process? How then can we prepare properly so that my interview is airtight? Get like bankans.
Interviews are one scary moment for everyone. Preparation is the key. Okay? They say, preparation makes perfect.
Yeah.
But perfect preparation makes perfect. Not just prepare. Now, people who prepare wrongly, it can't be perfect and prepare wrongly, isn't it? So, number one, know about the company. Know about the company where you're going for the interview. Tell us about this company. I think
you make money.
You know what I mean? You don't know anything about the company. That means you haven't invested time in getting knowledge. But guys, I can't teach you about interview tips on this platform. There's a lot to it. Okay? But I can say when you prepare, go online. Get to understand the kind of questions you can ask and the question you cannot ask and how to answer the questions being asked. Isn't it? One of the mistakes was, do you have any question for us? Someone will say, with confidence, when can I start? That way. Right? That people will say that. When can I start? So, when can I start? No, you need to ask strategic questions so that they see that you are interested in the growth.
It's overconfidence.
Yeah. And interviews is not entirely about you guys. Huh? The companies are looking for someone for their company. So you must show them how you fit in their company. So it should be about them more than you. If everything is going to be about me everywhere, right? You'll fail it. So let it be about the organization. How are you going to contribute? Every question should be aligned with how you are going to contribute and make the organization better. And you must understand how you are going to do that.
Lovely. So in an organization setup, say I'm working for a company and you're my boss, but I realize that you're cutting me at my knees. I'm bringing out solutions. I think we can do 1, 2, 3, but you are closing them down. I think that you are kind of putting me in this box, so to speak. In my shoes, what is the smart way of going about this? Because I'm realizing that I bring solutions, I bring this, I send this, but you didn't even take it forward. You don't look at my solutions. It's like you're just keeping me in a box. How do I navigate a situation like that?
Okay. I think you need to be honest with your supervisor or me as a leader, right? You need to be honest. Try to have a decent conversation. The problem we have in most organizations, we see our leaders as our bosses. We have less interaction with them, right? Less interaction. My boss, we play around. I can be in his office with my crossing four. We go out for coffee. Huh? We go out for coffee. I go to his house and meet the children and the wife. We play. It's my boss. So when I bring something, I will have the confidence to know that it's going to work. Isn't it? Even to a point, even my CEO, I joke with my CEO. I'll call him on WhatsApp and crack joke. You understand? And that gives me an opportunity to be able to be confident that whatever that I bring toward the organization is not going to be put in a box. But there comes a point where you know you have a boss whom you can't really reach out to. Go on and report the hell. You understand? Go on, bring the report 9 o'clock. And you just got in the office at 8 o'clock and you didn't know anything about the report. You must create a space where you are able to talk to the person to say, please, sir, just for my library, please, I think I've been noticing that I've been making several attempts in 1, 2, 3, 4, but I don't see any fruit coming out of it. How else can you help me to assist in this thing for the purposes of what organizational growth or reaching the same goals? Because we're here for the same thing, isn't it? If still there's nothing happening, all right, then you can kindly ask if there's someone I can talk to that will allow or you give me an ear. Just find out. There's nothing wrong with you talk to the same boss. You talk to me, I don't know, is there anyone I can talk to allow to give me an ear about my project or my reports? If he doesn't want, tell that no, you can't talk to anyone. And that means that person is really closing you down. And it's closing you down, I don't know about your superior above that guy. Understand? Yeah, if there's someone else, it could be the CEO, it could be the HOD, then direct message them. Yeah, direct message them, drop them an email and say, I've been bringing this thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put also the evidence, That's why we need to have everything in writing. Put everything with the evidence to say, this has been my communication attempt. I'm willing to make this kind of changes. Can you give me time to hear me? I said, then you can influence that one. So, I've heard this guy because, he had brilliant ideas. Please work with him to make them work.
But you can't jump the hierarchy without having talked to your boss. You can't
jump the hierarchy because you jump the hierarchy, the CEO will tell you that, but you jump that guy. I get it. Try to find a smart approach to pass it through him. Though he will close it, but you are following the procedure so that at the end of the day, you are not the bad guy. You understand? Follow the procedure. It's not an easy one. It's a tough one, right? So you need to be tough. That's why you need to learn more about emotional intelligence. Because if somebody does that to you, you can crack down anytime. I've seen ladies crying in offices because the manager was so harsh on them, especially those who's in accounting here? Who's in accounting? Anyone in accounting? Audit? Tax? Yeah, the guys who are in audit, they know.
Yeah,
they
it's
literally
quite
cry
stressful.
Because it's tough. You understand? And the managers in the accounting, the audit managers are tough guys because they're working with client finances. So you miss out a tab, you mess up the whole audit report. Understand? So with that, you must be able to know how to approach so that you don't crack down. Emotional intelligence. Learn about that. This guy will shout at you. You must remain calm. Afterwards, drop them an email again. But with this approach I tried with 1, 2, 3, 4. If it fails, you print out that email. That's when you can take everything to the higher person to say, I've tried this, but you are not there to fight. You are there to be heard. And that's what you're requesting for.
Nice. So as I'm listening to you, the message I'm hearing is, the soft skill, the intangibles of having emotional intelligence, the soft skills of the right attitude, all these things play a massive role linked with the skill in terms of even just in the workplace, like conflict resolution and all that. So much to say that somebody really you have to work on these things.
Yeah, you need to
if
work
you
on
are
this.
to ever
Communication
succeed
also
in
part
your
of that.
career path. It's not just about what you know and what you can deliver on. It's about this communication, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, leading people.
Yeah. It's about that. Just teamwork. It's about those things. You need to know how to work with people.
And you have a book coming out in 2 months,
Yeah.
I believe. In 2 months. Talk to us about your book. It's in the lines of HR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This book is called Corporate Leader at 30. All right, Corporate Leader at 30. Remember I started as RSM, and when I was 30 years, while I was still in RSM, I received a nomination from the Human Resource Directors, International Human Resource Directors Organization. And this is an organization for human resource directors. And in that organization, I happened to be the youngest at that time, to be one of the HR directors at the age of 30 and sitting with people above 50s in the 40s, late 40s and 50s, right? So it was a very stressful journey as a leader, you understand? And you're becoming a leader to people you are finding in the organization who are old. So Corporate Leader at 30 is my journey, my leadership journey. What you can learn about leadership, about resilience, about teamwork, about learning, about networking, about leadership skills, the best leadership skills. But you need to learn those things, you understand? You need to be tough. You know when you're about to fire someone, and this person is pleading before you on their personal capacity, or this is something really bad in my family. But this person, what they have done, according to the organizational standard, they are not worth to be there. And you have to fire this guy. You understand? So you need to be very good at expressing, or being a good leader to be able to express your thoughts to that person, so that when they leave that place, they don't go and kill themselves. You understand? You need to have good leadership skills to lead a group of people who are both young and old, dynamic groups. Others are expatriates. Others come, they don't even know English. They look at you and say, eh? You say what? You understand? And so I learned those things and I put them in a book. I called it Corporate Leader at 30, especially for young professionals, to know how you navigate your way to the top as a leader. And I believe that you guys can do that. So it's coming up in 2 months. I'm already finished with it. So the release date will be out by mid-February. I'll be releasing the dates, and then the launch will be out. Other books are available. There are motivational books, business books, HR books, if you want them also.
Nice. We'll definitely look out for that. And so, in your experience, in your career path, what has been your toughest, no. What has been your biggest lesson in terms of propelling yourself forward? What has been the biggest, when you look back in your entire life, because Steve Jobs said you cannot connect the dots moving forward, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. What has been that aha moment for you where you're like, you know what, ever since I learned this, everything changed for me? Is there something like that in your life? In terms of your career advancement?
I'll say something. It's the day I believed in my story. The day I believed in my story. That's the day everything changed. Because somebody say, what inspires you? Then I say, I'm inspired by the story I believe about myself. So I had a story, and I believed in that story. And the moment I did, everything changed. I became resilient in everything I go for. Yeah.
And your story is the one you have been telling.
So my story is the one I've been sharing from, grassroots where I started.
That's interesting.
From my school, from my living conditions. The person who you read the article, became homeless about 3 times.
Oh.
Lost everything, and it's quite a tough story. But at the end of the day, because you believe in yourself, right? I believe in my story that I have about myself. And one secret that worked, just for a second, for a minute, I had a picture of myself, okay? Many people say, who is your mentor? The first mentor was a picture of me, okay? Very nice picture. And then I scribbled with a pen on what I expect from this guy. You understand? So I was me in 10 years in that picture. Or that picture was me in 10 years. So when I look at myself, I look at the mistakes, I look at the accomplishment. Everything that I wanted to accomplish in 10 years, right, I wrote there. And 90% of everything that I wrote there, I have achieved.
Beautiful.
Trust me, I've achieved.
Beautiful. 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 Talk to me about the people who are afraid to raise their hands in meetings.
Afraid to?
Raise their hands in meetings. How about anything you want to say? No, I have no comments. You know, people who are never vocal in the workplace, and some of the dangers of that. You know, when you don't add your opinion, or you don't push back on ideas and kind of give people a bit of the real estate in your mind. Talk to me about that and how one can develop that ability to be a little bit assertive and be able to be comfortable with their own ideas as somebody who believes in that story like you.
That one is not an easy one. I'm not going to be an expert at that because even up to now, I'm the last person to speak in the room. You understand? I'm still working on that. When we're in a group of people, everyone is talking. I don't talk. But I'll be the last person to talk if you give me an opportunity. You understand? And when I talk, most of the time, when I talk, no one talks after me because I'll shut down everyone. You understand? Shut down everyone, not in a bad way, but shut down everyone, showing people that how smart I am. Because, you know, you live in a world where you are a bit, you're affected with self-esteem. Your self-esteem is low, right? And when you're in a group of people, they must really know that you know what you're talking about. So I'm still struggling with that. I'll listen to everyone and I'll pick points because I read a lot. And me reading a lot means I have a lot of information in my head, right? So I'm the last person to talk. But if you don't give me the opportunity to talk, you may not hear my voice throughout the meeting.
Do you think that's a danger? Huh? Do you think that's a danger? Don't you think that's a danger of not getting that opportunity to speak?
Sometimes it is a danger. It's a danger. It's not easy. You understand? It's not easy. Why? Because for me, in a group, I'm determined by what I grasp with everyone. So people talk in a group and they speak fast. Most of the time I don't even hear them. So I can't comment when I didn't even hear you talk. You understand? So even when I had something to say, it's be like, what am I going to say? Because I didn't hear your contribution. So It becomes like a setback to me in terms of contributing. But where I'm confident to say, I've heard everyone. Trust me, I'll talk. And when I talk, everyone should really listen because I'm making an important contribution. Yeah.
Lovely. My last question for you is, how do you want to be remembered as Mr. Sebina?
I want to be remembered as someone who, with something we call LTP, all right? HLTP. HLTP is helping people become better. You understand? I want to be remembered as someone who helped someone to really be better, number one. And I want to be remembered as someone who lived his life, like, trust me, who lived to the best, who drove the best, the cars that I had in my vision board, living in the house I had in my vision board, travel places I had in my vision board. And living that alone, I don't need validation on social media. My wife sometimes say, oh, you don't take pictures or travel to places. And like, you don't take pictures. Like, for what? I'm having the best time of my life, you know? So I just want to be remembered as someone who lived the best and who had the best time of his life. And
who left nothing on the table.
Yeah, it should inspire you. Just my life, I said the biggest testimony, all right, for people who are believers, the biggest testimony I could ever share to someone It's not what I will say, but it's the life I live. That's the biggest statement. See, I live my life to the best. You're going to learn something from that guy.
Lovely. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We really hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Deep Dive is dedicated to bringing you the most comprehensive and engaging information about business, personal finance, and personal development. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all our latest content. If you like this video, give it a like to show your support and help us reach a wider audience. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family who may be interested. Sharing helps us grow our community and connect with like-minded individuals. Leave a comment below and give us your biggest takeaway on this episode. If you're interested in being a part of our live studio audiences, make sure to register for the next show. Can't make it to the show? No problem. Check out our Patreon page to watch the full episode and get exclusive access to more great content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Deep Dive.